All right, this is my wife's niece. It's her vehicle. It's a '04, I believe, Hyundai Santa Fe. She got it. Well, we bought it for her. It had a blown up 2.7, and I had a wrecked '03 Sonata that had a 2.7 in it. So we pulled the motor out of it, engine out of it, and put it in this one. And so she's been driving it, and she called me last week and said that she'd been smelling gas. So I brought it down, checked it out. Leaking gas tank. So I'm like, shouldn't be that hard to do. So problem I run into is I couldn't get these goddamn things loose. So I put a pipe wrench on the other end because they're so rusted that you can't get an Allen wrench in them. And all the only ones I got to take out is the three to pull the shaft off. I've already got it off up front, redneck support there. So I couldn't break them goddamn things loose. So I didn't want to drag out the torch with a goddamn gas leak right here. But I already ruined one 19mm wrench. I spread it open. It was a cheap Taiwanese or Chinese or something. So it didn't even have a name on it. And it just said 19 on it. So I got out my Blue Point, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, I'm going to end up rounding this goddamn wrench, or the flats on the nut off. So I got out the torch. I heated it up. Yeah, the lock nut shit, the nylock started coming out of it. And I got about maybe a 1/16 of a turn on it, and it wouldn't go anymore. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm like, well, try to go the other way. It turns out these fucking things are left-hand thread. More shit for them to mess with you on. So, I could have broke bolts off, and then there's no way to get the goddamn bolt out because the rear end's right there. And there's no way in hell I'm dropping the whole goddamn rear end out of this thing. Should just deal with the gas leak, and I'd fucking send the one back that I got from Rock Auto, and I'd just pay the shipping and the restocking fee and get my part of my $200 back, or $230 or whatever the hell it was. So yeah, that's more stupid shit that the auto manufacturers do. I mean, these goddamn engineers, they always got to prove how fucking smart they are, and they're just like doctors are. You can't tell them a goddamn thing. So that's my rant. So I'm gonna get working on this damn thing. I got to put a control arm in it too, because I don't know if you can see that one right there, but the ball joint moves inside the control arm. It's control arm's welded out, so I bought a control arm for it off Rock Auto, had it shipped. It's out in the gas tank, and the control arm are in the back of the Tahoe, or the Yukon. So yeah, it's never-ending struggle. That, and somebody patched the exhaust together. It's leaking like hell. So it's rusted out in various places. Get my dial calipers out and measure the pipe. That way I can just order a new flex from online and put it in, weld all my hangers back on it, and then put a new piece here, clean everything up with a grinder, and get it to where the Lincoln will make it pretty and make it last. But I'm gonna have to tear that joint apart. So when it goes back together, it's just gonna get a piece of pipe in here and then welded or two clamps on it. This thing's got enough ground clearance, but I don't know, yeah, it's a girl driving it, so she'll end up ripping shit off of it if I put clamps. I'll have to point them with the end sticking up. I will too, but I'll rip shit off of vehicles like that, but that's because I take my Buick places four-wheel drives are meant to go, and I'll show up at the pond fishing and there's 15 trucks, people partying and everything else, and they look at you like you're nuts because you show up in a 1990 Buick Century when the goddamn ruts going to the place are just as tall as deep as my tires are tall. So, yeah, it's not that difficult to get places when you actually know how to drive. So I will get to working on this pile, and I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching.